So for this tutorial, it depends how much, how big you want the final product to be, to how much wire you use. I would always suggest a minimum of at least 15 centimetres, and I'm going to use about 20 here. Now one side is going to use more wire than the other, so you want to go about 3/4 of the way to create this kink, just like that, a right angle. And what we're going to do then is I'm going to hold it here, and I'm just going to tease the wire into this shape like that. Oops, behave wire. So it's almost coiling. I'm twisting a little bit like that. Then I'm going to pull it down a bit more. And then I'm going to do the same on this side, as if we're trying to create a thin shape. Thin as in an animal, not thin as in small. And then I want it to be somewhat chunkier so that it's obvious what it is at the end. If I did it, you know, like this, it's going to look a bit odd, too thin. So it needs to be somewhat bigger. Alright, and then you decide where you want to put the beginning of what will be the brim. And I'm going to go in again with flat nose pliers because I want a clean kink. And do the same on this side. If you aren't going to be strengthening this with other wires, I would use a 1.25 and above. So then you need to pick how big you want the brim to be. On this side I'm going to go with just slightly past the point of the hat. And then I'm going to do the same here. You could measure it exactly, but I'm one of those people that's like, I like to just look and then guess. You can obviously be more precise, and it's up to you. You know, you can squeeze these together if you want that to be tighter. Obviously the brim of a hat isn't very chunky. Okay then. And then what you can do, there's two options either here. We could either go to the middle, do 2 loops, and then wire in the point there. Or what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do it so I put the loops here. So let's get this part. I'm actually going to coil it the way the wire is going and then twist it at the end because I don't want to have to fight the wire too much. I'm just going to coil it under. Cut like that. Then twist it again. I'm sure you all know how to make loops. Okay, just going to leave that like that for the moment. Now if you wanted, you could actually use this loop and close those 2 bits together, your choice. Do the same here. Obviously we've got more wire on this side when we do that side, so I'm going to turn this into a coil. Always be careful of wire pinging off. Okay. So here we have the option to either attach there and weave along, or to just have open loops and then clip the 2 together, and there you have your more traditional witch's hat, the more popularised version. And the second option I'm going to show you next is slightly different. So this time I've taken about 25-30 centimetres, and we are going to go to the middle point and kink. Now, unlike before, because we are doing this as an actual witch's hat, for those that don't know the symbolism behind a witch's hat, it's a cone, and the idea behind a cone is that you channel energy. So it needs a direct point, so we won't be twisting it. We're going to literally keep this exact triangular shape. That's important. And we will be inserting another layer here in a moment, but I just want to create that shape again. So in the same way we did before, we'll decide how big we want it. I used a bit more wire this time, so I'm going to make it a bit bigger. And it doesn't matter whether you have the hat like that or like that, it's just that the point is the important bit. I'm going to bring them closer together so I can see roughly where I just kink that. Pull it out again. And in the exact same way we did before, we'll create the bottom part, but I don't want to do that just yet. I want to create the bit in the middle. So we're going to take some more wire. We won't need as much, so I'm just going to get about 20 centimetres. Okay, and I'm kinking this again, but unlike that top layer, I'm going to I want to leave a bit of room here because I want the jump ring to go through here. So it doesn't need to be as sharp as that first one. We just need it so that it'll fit. And then what we're going to do is we're going to wrap down both sides. So we're going to take a length of wire. I'm using this colour today simply because of the way it shows up on camera. The silver, when I'm wire wrapping against silver, the camera just struggles to pick it up. So that's the only reason I'm doing this. If it's, you know, I was thinking about doing black and black for obviously a witch's hat, but again, that was just showing problems, and obviously this is just to show you the technique. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to attach the wire on the bottom of the two, and I'm just going to coil it. I want this to sit here, and that'll be it. Okay, so I've just wrapped over that top part. I'll end up doing a couple wraps here later, so it doesn't matter that they're not even, because when we attach for the second side, okay, and then you decide which wrap you want to do. You should have also seen the video for connecting two base wires. That is all this is at this point. We're just going to be connecting two base wires. Try to keep that bit in the middle as it will slip. Okay, and then decide roughly where you want to start, and then begin your wrapping. And then we're just going to continue this all the way to the end, and then we'll do the exact same on the other side. So having done one side, I'm going to cut some of the gold off. Now what I will do is weave along here, but I want to bend this over, bring it back and do that, but I want to do that nearer the end because, well, I'll show you at that point. But I'm just going to cut the wire, but I'm actually leaving probably about 25 centimeters. I may need more than that, but for now that's just what I'm going to do. So then we're going to come over to this side and we're going to do exactly the same that we've done here, just down this side. And if you weren't aware, I did the 5-to-1 weave along. No particular reason for that. We are doing witches' hats. Again, I'm doing this for Halloween, but were you to be a worshipper of All Hallows Eve, a pagan, you might choose to use numbers with significance, numerology, such as so numbers like 5, 3, 7, but any number obviously is has some sort of significance, so that's up to you. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and attach the wire again here, do a couple more wraps, and then I'll do the exact same weave down the other side, working off the reel. So I'm going to do a couple of anchor wraps, and the only reason I'm doing it up here is because I don't have to fight the wire as much to do it. It's that simple. Okay, then I'm going to push them together. Now, because there is a little bit of white silver showing there, I might make this the back at the end, or I might try and wrap this around a bit more. Haven't quite decided yet. Okay, let's do a 5th. And then start the wrap in the same way. And as I always say, you know, be careful of your tension. You've got to wrap back in between. So now that both sides are done, I ended up doing 21 sets, 10 on each side. So this is actually going to be quite large, which, as I've probably mentioned in previous tutorials, always happens with me. I always end up making them a lot bigger than needed. But that seems to be how I'm comfortable making, so I'm going to stick with that. So now we have to think about the brim. And what I'm going to do is go in and I'm just going to first of all decide roughly how long I want this to be, and I'm going to go with about 3.5 centimeters, and I'm just going to curl that under. I'm going to do the same on this opposite side. Again, I'm going to look for, you could measure this and do it precise, but I don't really do that. Okay. And going to cut and cut. Let's just move that out of the way for the moment. Try not to get tangled with all the different wires. Obviously it's very easily done when you've got a lot going on a tutorial. project even. Okay, so then we've got the two halves of our brim, and if you remember, I saved some wire here for this point. So now we're just going to wrap along both sides, continue on with the same weave, or you could change it if you so chose, but I'm just going to continue on with what I've been doing so far. Okay, so I've just put single coils going around the corners, and I've put the spirals just behind, so although they are slightly visible, they're less visible. And where I was going to go around it originally, looking at it, it was starting to look more like a sombrero than a witch's hat, so that's why I made that creative decision. So at this point it depends what you want to do. You could either use these wires and connect them and do coils again here and here. You could just coil it into the middle and connect in the same way I suggested with the other hat. It's entirely up to you what you prefer to do, and honestly I'm not really sure which one I want to do myself. I think I'm just going to coil these ends, see what it looks like, and then decide. I may have mentioned this before, but this is very much how I work. I'll draw a design out and plan it, and then when I'm making I just go off on a little tangent and have a play. I must apologise for my dihydrosis, a type of eczema. It's really bad at the moment. Obviously there's not much I can do about it, but I know it's probably not the prettiest thing in the world to have whilst I'm doing a tutorial. Okay, then I'm just going to wrap along here. Again, you can use any wrap you want. Once we've weaved all the way along, I will say I made this a lot more difficult for myself. I really should have done the more loops on the side that was open so I didn't have to keep going back through, so top tip there for you guys. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut these down and make them as small as possible so they basically hide into the work. And I'm going to do the same on this side as well. I don't really want them to be visible. And detracting from the design. So you have one of the witch's hats, and like I said before, all I would do then is attach a jump ring. I have shown you how to do those in several other videos, so I won't make another one and show you that, but I'd just put a jump ring through there and attach it to a cord. And to finish the other one that we were doing just before, so that I'm showing you both options, again, we didn't have to wrap all the way along here. What we could have done instead is attach there, do that, or we could, what I'm going to do again, make sure everything is hammered, and then just wrap those bits together, just taking a bit of wire, always make sure you anchor it first. And connect them together like so. And obviously you'd be doing this with wire in the same colour, so it wouldn't be obvious. And like we did in the cat tutorial, you could wrap all the way around. So there you have it, 2 styles of witches hats, but of course these are just hats in general. You could change them, like I showed before. This could have actually become a sombrero, and it could have been thicker, and then you could use, you know, different colour wires, and then that can be for, you know, fancy dress or anything then. So that has been the witches hat tutorial. I hope you've liked it. I've got a couple more for Halloween still to come. Please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe and help support me that way. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.